Welcome to another edition of the Great CoMission podcast. I'm here today with Grady Johnson, who has just arrived from Mexico. Grady, how was the trip to the States in light of all the violence going on in the country?
The trip to the States, Phil, was really kind of uneventful in the sense that the security situation, especially in the border areas, are kind of on a week-to-week basis, and they change quite dramatically. On this particular trip, traffic was up and the road seemed to be very well guarded, so I felt relatively safe on the way up.
Recently you've been pretty cautious about travel, and I know all of you have, and your trips to the States have been flying back and forth, and you've also been pretty cautious about mission teams coming to Mexico. Is that going to continue for some time now?
I would think that it would continue probably for at least a year, possibly more. As you know, large groups of Americans, especially when they're in the third world, draw a lot of attention. Now, evangelistically speaking, this attention is very good because we want people to come and listen to the message which we have. But from a security standpoint, the attention is usually not the kind of attention we would want, and could potentially be dangerous for large groups. So we're discouraging large groups indefinitely until the security situation resolves.
How has all this going on in Mexico affected people in your local churches and congregations?
Well, the security situation in Mexico has affected our churches in varying degrees depending on the situation that they're in. Churches that are located in areas that are very heavily operated by drug cartels obviously have to be very, very careful. In other parts of the country where there seems to be a little more safety in travel, people can carry on with their normal lives a lot easier. It's affected us probably the most in traveling, in the fact that when we have national meetings and training sessions, people are not able to travel as far as safely as they could in the past. Also, it's affected us as far as visiting churches during nighttime hours, where we would have to return home during the night because most roads in Mexico would not be considered safe after dark.
I know you wear lots of hats in your missionary ministry in Mexico. If you had to list a lot of the things that you do, what would be number one on the list?
Well, most of our work in Mexico now is being built around a national strategy to build churches in the parts of Mexico that the BMA doesn't have churches in yet. Most of this would be in the central western part of Mexico or in the northern part of Mexico. Now, the northern part of Mexico is a part of an area of Mexico that's very dangerous, especially for travel and especially for foreigners. So I would say that the number one thing that we're doing now is working on training men and women as church planners, that they would be able to go into new areas where the BMA of Mexico does not have churches and plant new churches there. Now, we have 2 new missionaries that are on the field in northern Mexico that are being supported in partnership with the BMA of America, with the BMA of Mexico, and I guess we could say that they would be akin to interstate missionaries here in the United States, only they're in Mexico.